Hi, I'm Rachel Greenstein here with Mark Citron. This is Frozen Futures, where we discuss the rising and future stars of the NHL. And when you're talking about stars, specifically American-made stars, you tend to think of the great state of hockey, Minnesota. However, there are some wonky things going on in Minnesota right now, specifically with my beloved Gophers. And I just want to stress we are not including the women's team in this because they, they're never bad. Like they're always good. Like they're always so. Lee Murphy, she's going to be a monster in the PWHL, but she's got 50 points in 22 games.
I thought we weren't talking about. I mean, maybe some other time.
The
Let's
women
do
are
that. I think
fine.
you have to. We have maybe we'll have one
We'll come
show
back to that.
dedicated to the ladies.
That's another thing. We'll
It should
we'll
be
have a
ladies first,
oh
but
International Women's Day. We could do that. Um,
yeah, it's coming up
but
on February
Jensen University.
1st. Back to Minnesota hockey.
Anyway, yes. um, so my beloved Gophers are really struggling this year. They're 8-12-1. And, you know, the head coach of the Gophers, Bob Moscow, was also the head coach for USA in World Juniors, who did not medal. They have the greatest tournament. So what's going on with the Gophers right now? Kind of hard to say because it's not that. I mean, obviously, every year in college, you're gonna have new guys on a roster. You're gonna have guys leaving the team. It happens every 4 years. You have an entirely new roster. So losing Sam Renzel and Oliver Moore were obviously big losses for the Gophers, but still got the Brodies, Brody Zemer and Brody Lamb, who are the two leading scorers on the team. But there's no depth. You know, after the
Exactly.
Brodies, you get LJ Mooney. This guy can't do it all. And granted, like
He's cool.
with
Yeah, he's
his
got a lot of skill. Yeah, but that's an
11
underwhelming.
assists, he's 15 points in 21 games, but he's also an undersized guy. Um, he
No,
is
I just
very
think
quick.
they're just very
Um,
underwhelming. Underwhelming. I mean, who's even in
had a
the
kind of underwhelming World Juniors performance as well.
what's their goaltending situation like?
So they are currently splitting in the 21 games. They split it right down the middle
Why
between Luca DiPasco and Nathan Airy. And Airy's stats compared to last year are hard to look at. This season, Nathan Airy is 3-7-1. He's letting in
uh,
about 3 goals a game.
shows
Save
my
percentage
excitement.
under 90. Not good. Not good stuff considering
I
last
don't like
year.
reading numbers all the time. I just
Oh
you look
yeah,
at
of
that
course.
roster, Rachel. I mean, it's garbage. It's a bunch of trash. I
So
mean, I don't want to rip it, but like, why are we even talking about them? I'm
it's
just
weird too because
I'm wasting our time. Yes, that
Recruiting
is
in
the biggest
Minnesota
thing.
should
Yes.
not be hard. Every kid growing
Thank
up in the
you.
Minneapolis area wants to be a Gopher one day. I had
Yes,
this
yes,
conversation
definitely.
actually in the USHL with Jack Harvey, a nice Minnesota boy, and he told me he was like,
Awesome.
ever since I was little, I wanted to be Gophers. Didn't work out for him. He's on Boston University right now with the A.
Yeah,
Actually,
why?
good for Harv. But recruiting's not an issue when it comes to Minnesota. But for some reason, it's not working for them. After LJ Mooney, you got Beckett Hendrickson, who's got 14, and then Javon Moore with 13 points. And then it just Jimmy Clark, Luke Mills at 12, and then it drops off. And like you're only getting goals from your and scoring from your top six. And that does not make for a complete team. It does not make for winning games. And as you can see right
Yeah,
now, again,
and
8,
like a
12,
little
and
squirrel
1.
flag in the background. I mean, yeah, I mean
It's a
that
gopher.
squirrel. Yeah, they seem like a bunch of squirrels
It
right
is
now. I mean,
Goldie Gopher to be specific.
that's a
Um,
cool flag, but it's
it's
the point.
fantastic. But
But I think it's for no, you're right. That's the point you're trying to make is that it's the recruiting class. It shouldn't be hard to have a at least competitive club. But yeah, look at this team on paper. I mean, the Middlestat brothers. I actually, without playing favorites, I like Luke
well, Luke is so
defensively
much better than
over.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
It's not close.
It's been a long time for me. I haven't seen these guys in person at least in years. But at the same, I remember Luke was a hell of a player with the Capitals in the USHL. Point is, yeah, and then I'm like, who are their goalies? Never even heard of the two guys. And that's with me. Like I keep it simple, but you look at how the future is going to be recruited with colleges and money and again, I have no idea what their class is going to look like because these kids they've always changed their mind. Like if they have a good season and they get a better offer somewhere, all it takes is one phone call. So I don't
Especially
know
with
who the hell I don't know who they're recruiting because again, someone might say yes, and then all of a sudden it's a domino effect. They're like, oh well, I'm going this way, and then someone else might go that way. And you look at who we've talked about so far on the show, UMD, and no, I mean the Plants have kind of led the way there, but no,
Max
they've
number one in
got
scoring
there's
right now.
it's not surprising. But the point is that it's just like, it does vary by year, but we should honestly switch gears because I don't know why we're wasting our breath on
You
these
know what?
guys. I
That's
mean,
fair, and it's killing me. But I will say you do bring up an interesting point with kind of the short attention span type thing because the NCAA did relatively recently change their rules when it comes to transferring. Before, you weren't allowed to play the year that you transferred. You had to take a season
yes,
off. But now you can play the season you transfer, and that really transformed a lot of the NCAA landscape. But
you're right.
yeah, we got a fun Minnesota matchup this weekend, or I guess it would be fun for UMD, probably not as fun for St. Cloud. um, we
Thor
got we
Buff.
got Minnesota Duluth, the Bulldogs, who are sixth overall in the NCAA right now with a record of 16-6-0. They're facing off against St. Cloud State, who are 11-0. And granted,
500.
so St. Cloud, they actually do have Tyson Gross, who is, I believe, tied 10th in scoring in the NCAA right now. He's got
Tyson
28 points in 22
Rose.
games, 11 goals, 17 assists. So you do have a guy who is performing at his peak right now.
Where's Thor
But
Buff? Shout out to Thor Bufflin.
shout out to Thor
Coco Buff.
Bufflin. What a guy. Um,
Yeah,
defense though,
he's
and
awesome.
not a high scoring defenseman.
That's the
Um,
only guy I know at St. Cloud State.
get Tyson Gross, who's in scoring, but then after that, exactly, it's like who else is on the team? Like you can't win games with just one guy every single goal that you have. It just doesn't work like I mean it's kind of working like that for the
Yeah,
Sharks right now,
why are we
but
talking about St. Cloud State and all these
because they're gonna
mediocre?
play UMD, which UMD I hate to say it, but like Duluth got something special going for them this year. I I think that they're I mean they're fun to watch. Obviously, there's a little bias there because of course Zam
Look
Plant
at
is
the
a great
goaltending.
human being. um, but
They're
yeah, I
fun to
mean,
watch. They're
yeah, the
hardworking
Plant brothers
guys,
are some
firemen.
of the most entertaining players I've ever seen. They're very similar players. Um, kind of undersized, which back to the whole we've talked about this a million times, just you and me together, but the NHL is kind of just changing now. Like you look at the Team
Yeah,
USA Olympic roster, it's not that big of a team. Um, and you look at University of Minnesota Duluth, and I think like there's like half the team is like 5'9". Like it's not a big team.
looking
You know,
at
the
the
Plant
weights right
brothers
now.
aren't big. Max is
Kleber's
first in
big.
scoring.
Cleveland's big.
Well, of course they're gonna have a couple of big guys, but for the most part, they're not that big,
Yeah,
like
up front.
physically. And again, Max Plant is first in scoring in the NCAA right now. He's got 36 points in 22 games, 19 goals, 17 assists, and he got his brother Zam, who's actually tied with Michael Hayes right now, um, it, for seventh
Mississauga
with
Snake.
the Mississauga Snake on Michigan. Which good weekend he had coming off of World Juniors.
Yeah,
Um,
did you see his post game where he's like, let the country down? Sucks. So he's let the country.
what a
No,
downer!
he was well, he's cold. He's a snake. But no, he was
Snake.
no, I like it. I like when he's just like sucks. Just let the country down. That's it. But anyhow, no, you're right. We talked about it last time, and for me, I still you never know, but they got the goaltender, Adam Gajan, who
Yep.
Chicago Blackhawks really high on him. I think he was like the earliest goalie that was picked in the draft a couple years ago. Second round, early second. I
2023, he was
think he's
number
like 33.
35,
Yeah, so yeah,
35
around there.
overall, which
And
is shocking for a goalie. Goalies don't tend to
oh,
go
he's
that
there,
high.
yeah.
And
And
yeah, he's
so
been spectacular. He's played pretty much every game. There's only been one game he hasn't played, so he's 15-6-0. He's letting in not even 2 goals a game. Like
yeah,
that's
I don't really
unbelievable
yeah.
with a 1.7 save percentage. He's He's doing exactly what UMD
Rachel,
needs him to.
Rachel's all about the numbers. She's all about the
Listen,
mathematics.
sometimes it can be hard to gauge a goalie. Um,
It
it's
is.
not always their fault.
And
And the
then yeah, the
numbers,
goalie coaches are all in their ways too, and it's like okay, pal, it's like, but they're goofy. I respect it, and yeah, he's got
well,
a lot
of
of
course, it's like
potential.
you need a full team effort games. You can't
The
all fall on the goalie. So goalie's kind of hard to measure their stats, but Gajan's been
So
amazing, and there's a reason he went that early in the draft a couple of years ago.
I get that. So are we transitioning to the state? Because Minnesota's the state of hockey. I mean,
Allegedly.
what's so is the theme going to Michigan now or what? The
So
theme. I'm not saying that
is
there's a shift.
is Michigan taking over hockey? You're still getting a lot of players
I,
coming out of Minnesota, of course. There's still everyone and their mother plays hockey in Minnesota. They're basically born with ice skates on their feet. That's not going to change in Minnesota.
and
That's
they
the
all
only thing
think
to
their
do
town's better
there.
than the next, though. I'm sick of that stuff where
They're so elitist over there with their
get
hockey.
over yourself.
The three E's
Honestly,
of
like
Edina,
seriously.
Eden Prairie,
I don't care.
Egan.
Yeah, I actually shout out to that. Was I was gonna say the Hawk Jackson Blake is the like I just because he won a Clark Cup and he was a total beauty and hilarious. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. But I know that's a big deal, but like I mean, you Minnesota kids, it's a beautiful place. All right, we get it, we get it. All
Not
right,
from
but it's just
Minnesota,
I'm
right?
sick of it. It's like they think they're like better than them. I mean, their flow game is, but like. I don't want to start
Well,
ripping on everybody, but it's like, it's just like get over yourself.
I just don't think that you can take the title state of hockey away from Minnesota when they're still firstly
Never.
producing a
No, no,
lot of good
no.
players, but also they're
Never.
selling out rinks for high
I never
school
want to.
tournaments
I never
and
won a
renting.
Stanley Cup. North Stars
True.
never won a Stanley Cup. Went to Tech
Yeah.
to
Well,
Dallas,
the
and
Wild
they
haven't
call
gotten out of
themselves
the
the state
first
of
round of the
hockey.
playoffs in a hot sec. So,
They are good.
um,
That's a different
yeah,
story,
they're good
but
this year, but yeah, so you look at Michigan, which Minnesota is, the Gophers are facing off against the Wolverines this weekend, and that is going to be pretty. I don't think.
never
I think
know.
that's going to be pretty ugly. I mean, yeah, you never know, but it's never pretty when those two teams play each other. It's always a bloodbath. Like it's never going to be a pretty game. It's always going to be fisticuffs, like extracurricular activity every 3 seconds. Like it's
Yeah.
just how these two teams play each other. Help that one is
Well,
significantly better than the other. You got University of Michigan, who still number one, 18-4-0. Can't really, can't really ask for more than that. You're not going to win every single game, but to win most of them, it's pretty solid. But you got three Michigan schools in the top five in NCAA right now. So you've got
Michigan.
University of Michigan in first. You've got
Okay.
Western Michigan in third, sorry, with the record of 16-6-0. And you've got Michigan State in fourth with
Hmm.
15-5-0.
Sneaky.
And what's weird about Western Michigan to me is again, they're obviously doing great. They have the same record as UMD. Um, but there's not like one specific guy on
Yeah,
that team who
I
stands out.
agree.
But this is
So
exactly
true.
the problem that the Gophers have. It's the opposite. Like
Except they
Western Michigan
stink.
has contributions coming from everyone. Single
Mhm.
line, both forwards and defense are contributing in some way. And again, that makes for a really complete
Yeah,
team.
I don't have
And
any game
that's
breakers there. I don't know.
right.
Again, they could be a tough. Yeah, they could maybe I think be an upset potential, but they
I
don't have.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
that they're
even.
slept on a little bit because again, they don't
I'm just
have like
ripping teams there.
specific guys who
No,
are standing out in
I
particular.
was looking at the roster this morning, and I've watched a game or two, but I mean, yeah, they're all like Zach Wisdom, Zachy Sharp. They're not flashy players. They're all grinders. I mean,
Yeah, and
like
again,
is
I
so
feel like a
the
lot of these
Slukinski's
guys
there, but his
are
brother's not
playmakers.
like from Fargo is yeah. Hey, so the goaltending, I'm telling Hampton Slukinski is so underrated. He's nasty as hell, by the way. His brother is on the team as well, but yeah, Slukinski, the Hampton, yeah, he's got a cool name, Hampton Slukinski. But they have Moffitt backing up too. It's like so they just are a bunch of they've always been sort of the grinder type style, like heavier, cup of tea. They have an identity, they have an identity, but it all starts with the goal race. You could have like a little game here, what I repeat myself, but it all starts with the goaltending through your defensive zone and then up front. And you have the goaltending, you're gonna have a chance. I mean, so that's kind of where I stay with that. And I also agree with UMD back to, I know I mentioned earlier, like Gajan, he's starting to find his rhythm, and it's like very good
Yeah,
for
he's been
Chicago
great.
Blackhawk, ironically, and very good for himself too. And as we talked about, it's a goofy development with goalies. Sometimes it takes them like 8 years. Sometimes it takes them 8 months. I mean, so, um, I again, with we said last time with the Michigan, at least, with the chip on their shoulder. But what about Michigan State, Rachel? Because I know I kind of cut you off there, but what do you
Well,
think
I
of
think
that?
Michigan State there's always going to be some boiled blood between them and Michigan.
They're not gonna
It's
they're not gonna make any noise. They're not
I
gonna.
don't think
Right? They have
again,
the
I said it
goaltending.
the last episode, like it's not crazy to think that
Yeah, Martone.
Michigan State, University of Michigan, maybe Wisconsin, UMD, those four teams very well could be the four teams that make up the Frozen Four. That wouldn't be surprising to me. But Michigan State, you've got some high scoring power there. Um, but this is like what's weird because you got Martone, Strammel, Russell, those guys, but then it just drops off. Like,
Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, they're like a one line. I don't. I think they have the goaltending, but it's like similar to. I think Western Michigan is better, honestly. I mean, that's my two. But Augustine's highly touted. I mean, he's pretty
oh,
solid.
he was one of the best goalies that we
Yeah,
saw in the USHL when he was on the
he's
USNTDP.
good. He's very highly touted. I mean, I'm a different goalie type of guy. No one cares probably, but I mean, hey, I'm the one that with Fowler. I'm not gonna lie. That was my. He's the best goalie I've seen come through the USA, in my opinion. And I've only
Yeah, I
been
mean,
there
I'm with
for
you on that
eight
one.
years,
Former
so it's not like
Boston
I've been
College
there for
guy.
20. But no, even like Spencer Knight was great, but I still didn't see enough of him. Like I saw the Gator like 10 times, so it was
So
like,
actually, I have a question
holy
for you.
cow,
So Trey Augustine is
the Gator.
Detroit Red Wings prospect. Do you think the
They
Red
got
Wings
some guy.
take him before the season ends? Because
Uh,
Red Wings
it
don't have the most fantastic goaltending right now.
Maybe. I mean, wouldn't he want to be in Grand Rapids first? Like maybe just for a little, but maybe he's good enough if he's good enough. I just don't think
I
that's
mean,
where
so I'm looking
goaltending
at his
because
stats right now, and they're gone. Oh, they're no. Where did they go?
well, again, it's
Yeah.
different
So
in
he's
college and the
got.
pro. Like,
I mean,
I
he's pretty
mean,
comparable to the. Actually, he has better stats
they
than
probably will.
Gajan
They'll
does,
sign
but it's
him.
pretty comparable. He's also letting in less
What's
than two
his
goals a game.
save
Um,
percent as all the
13,
goalies?
5 and 0, it looks like.
What's
Yeah,
his save percent?
0.938 save. So again, he's
That's
got a
really
little bit
good.
better of a record and stats than Gajan does, but
It doesn't matter to me.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Those
Yeah.
stats don't matter. Like, I mean, they do, but they don't. But that's what's weird about some of these Michigan teams. Like, you got so like
Hmm.
Strammel's like 26 and
He's an underrated
points.
player, I think.
No, he's
Charlotte,
great.
yeah.
He's so great. Minnesota,
You
another Minnesota Wild guy
do their homework. They're one of the teams that do their homework. They definitely do.
drops off. So it's like, how is this working for like certain schools and then it's not for others? And granted, like the main guys on the Gophers are not putting up the numbers that these guys
Let's
on
stop
Michigan
talking
are.
about them. I'm like,
But well,
they're
I'm just
so
like I'm just
irrelevant.
asking a question, like
They don't
like
have a
why
good
does it work for
class.
some and not for others? You know, Obviously, maybe scheduling has a little bit to do with it. Um, Gophers, I
Yeah.
mean, they lost to LIU pretty badly, um, which
I
that
don't
was
even know who that is.
Long Island
Lu-
University. They've
Oh,
been
yeah.
D1 for
I'm
about
sorry.
4 or 5 years
Sorry,
now.
not sorry. I really don't care.
I
But
mean, yeah, well, that's a
Mark,
whole other thing. That could be its own episode because, like, how do
really?
you get
Yeah, you're
better?
right. I guess I have some
Um,
homework. They're so irrelevant. I'm always about like the
well,
big,
how do you
the
become relevant, though?
flashy Long Island. I mean, what the?
Yeah, well,
I don't
Long
know why
Island's
we
becoming a
keep talking
hotbed for
about.
hockey now.
Oh,
The
it's
Hagens
produced.
brothers.
Oh, it's produced a ton of players in the show always, but I just I'm not.
Boy,
Are
Adam
we? So
Fox.
we're going back to Michigan here, and some teams do it better than the others. I think Minnesota will get
Also,
its act together over time. Not this year, but we'll see what their class. I mean, that's where
well,
the
I think
NCAA is going to be. I would not want to be one of those recruiters. That's all I can say. It's just with
yeah.
money, and it's like no matter how good of a salesman you are, like all it takes is the kid to have a good year to. It's like who's gonna
Well,
pay
that's
you
what's
more?
weird
It's
about
like
Minnesota is you don't even need the salesman. Like it speaks for itself. But
still talking about him. We're still talking about him.
stop it. um,
I really
but
love
so
that flag. That's about it.
I'm looking at Michigan right now, and there is like a decent drop off, but not like huge in the terms of like
Well,
you get guys who are like putting up 30 points, and then you have a bunch who are putting up like four. Whereas, Michigan, it's yeah, TJ Hughes with 31 points, which he's an interesting player because he's not necessarily a goal scorer, but he collects a lot of points by
he's a veteran.
making plays. But yeah, he's also an older guy. Couple of teams have had their eyes on him. He's not drafted. Question though, like, is he worth it? 25 by the time he'd be entering the NHL. Is it worth
That is
risking? Like, I mean, granted, like guys
probably get
are
an
never
AHL
really at
deal
their
or
peak until that
get a
age.
chance.
But I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
right? Sign him entry level. Why not? Well, the risk, okay,
It's
you don't
like
like him.
yeah. It's like
You know,
Hudson, or whatever, undrafted free agents, plenty of them, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Playing
yeah,
with
there's
the
plenty of
Oilers,
them.
like
But
there's always
you
good
look at
players there.
University of Michigan, and it's a good mix of veterans and
This is
young
where a
guys.
podcast, it's like you can just sit there and analyze everything. It's like, can
Well,
they win the
yeah.
big game? Can they win the big game? Like literally, it's like I think that they're too good. Michigan, we'll see. They're a team to beat. But
Again, I think it's just they're
that's where Trey
scoring
Augustine
so
or
much. Like,
a guy on or somebody's gonna have to be the better goalie on them. Ivan Kovic, and
yeah, and
maybe he
Ivan
does
Kovic's
choke
been
in the big
amazing.
game. Yeah,
He's
but
been
maybe in the big game he's not. I don't know. I don't know. He's a young kid. I mean, that's what's beautiful
That's true.
about
He is
this.
a 2007.
But let's just, yeah, if you had to
But he's
pick,
got great record too. He's comparable
oh,
with
he's awesome.
Gajan and
Ivan Kovic is nasty. Yeah, yeah, he's
Augustine.
really
Yeah,
good.
he's
But who's gonna
also
win?
letting in
Who's
less
gonna
than two
be
goals.
the more clutch goalie? Who's gonna be the one that steals it? Like Augustine's got it in him. That's where That's where
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
he's got the
totally. But
dog in him.
I don't think they have the. I don't know if they have enough offense though. I don't know. We'll
See,
see.
that's why I said in the last episode, and it still kills me to say it, but like I really am leaning towards Michigan, University of Michigan, because not only firstly, Ivan Kovic's been amazing,
They
but
got a chip on their shoulder, as we say. Yeah.
they got a chip on their shoulder, and there's a lot of guys putting up a lot of points for Michigan. Like it's not,
Young, yeah,
you know,
veterans,
it's
yeah.
it's again, it's not like it's going from like 30 points and then 20 down to 15 down to 4. Like it's a pretty steady decline in points when you go down by the point leaders, and the guys who don't have as many points are also the guys you don't really expect to. So the guys that you do expect to have a great season, a lot of points, are actually doing that. And when you have everyone playing to their peak potential, it's going to be really, really hard to knock them off their game.
Yeah, I mean, it's so the going back to our conversation, are we saying that Michigan is the new not it's not this it's never gonna take that, but like right
It's
now,
never going to be the state of hockey.
is it
Never.
right now though, the hot state of hockey?
Yeah, I
Hot
mean,
state. I like that a lot better.
I guess, yeah, right? Like again, it's kind of hard to deny
Mucho
when you're looking at the
calor.
top 10 in the NCAA in terms of just teams in general. And you have three schools from Michigan in the top 5. That's crazy. That's
I know UMD's so I definitely like they're definitely I'd say the best, but Westerns, yeah, I mean they have a good pedigree too. It's funny. They've kind of just had that sort of just like grind as we said, grinder and mentality. But what if I tried to transition you out of this and agree it's the hot state right now, Michigan, but what about like Quinnipiac? Like I feel like there's always like a wild card that comes out like out of the blue.
Quinnipiac's been good.
I
Cornell's
feel
been
like they
good.
recruit well though too. I actually haven't seen
Well,
them really at
especially
all. Being totally transparent
after that soul crushing Frozen Four final in 2023 against
to
my
you.
beloved Gophers, where they lost in overtime. Thanks, Sam Lipkin, for that one, getting the primary assist on that.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
one-sided beef. I
I don't really think they're that good though. I don't know any of
mean,
these
but
guys,
they
honestly.
are
They're all like
recruiting
Quebec
better.
Major League, Alberta Junior. There's some USHL guys, but I'm like,
They're
I have
starting to
no.
be able to like really compete with the big boys. Like
Yeah,
they're really up there. And again, I think a lot of that came from their Frozen Four win 3 years ago. You know,
right.
and also
I
Skylar Brindamore, Rob the Bod of the Carolina Hurricanes' son, was on Quinnipiac. You're starting to get a lot of really good players coming out of there. But I want to say though, just to give a little shout out because I'm actually going there tomorrow. But shouts to Arizona State University. They're fun. They're so fun. You got two guys, Cruz Lucius and
oh
oh we
yeah.
don't like he's number two in scoring just behind
Where
Max
was he
Plant.
draft? He was drafted by Carolina, right? And then he was traded to Pittsburgh, like in a trade. But what was he? I think he was like a later pick. Like we know Chazzy Boy was an early pick, but Cruz, do you remember what he was? Because regardless of where, they were both really talented players.
Yeah, and he's doing what
And, and
we need
Chaz
him
was
to be
kind of the
doing.
better one, but Cruz is also pretty nasty too.
No, he's been doing great. Again, he's number two in scoring. He was 124th overall by the
Yeah,
Hurricanes, but
like he
now the
was,
Penguins own the rights to
yeah,
him.
right. Okay, but
So,
120, that's where it just shows too, where it's like wild with some of these guys because it does take
well, and he's also having like a bit of a breakout season. So, he
yeah,
came from University of Wisconsin first 2 years, transferred
that's
to
right.
Arizona State, and in 24 games, he's got 32 points, whereas last year in 19, he had 10. So something's working for him in Arizona right now. I don't know if it's just he likes the weather or
It'd
what's
be kind
going
of
on
cold
over
though.
there, but
Screw weather.
it's working for him, right?
Screw.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You got to get
any
a
weather's an
report.
improvement from
You got to
Wisconsin.
get a. You have to get a live report from ASU at least on the ground, because it's like your report for real. Because I mean, as you said earlier, some things click, but yeah, their forwards seem really underwhelming though. I mean, you talk about a drop off. I mean, they have some good D though,
That's
and
true.
they
Shouts to
seem like
Anthony
they have
Dowd.
some solid D, but
Yeah, and
ah,
again, but
Keevan's
to
an underrated player too.
go
He
back
was
to our
hurt.
point so we don't get a little sidetracked here.
Yeah.
We got Minnesota Michigan matchup this weekend. We've got Duluth St. Cloud matchup this weekend. I think neither of those matchups are going to be pretty games. like, I just don't think any of them are going to be pretty. I think they're all going to be a grind. It's going to be a bloodbath from all four of those teams, and it might just be blowouts. Honestly, like I can absolutely see Michigan lighting the Gophers the hell up.
We'll
Um,
see.
well, again,
But yeah,
goaltending's not been where we want it to be. So, and DePasco he's been okay, but he's 5-5 and like or 6-5 or something like that, but not good. like we're letting in too many goals, and against Michigan, it's gonna be the entire freaking game. Like it's gonna end like 10-1.
maybe.
I hope that doesn't happen. I
Maybe it's the
really
game
hope.
of the year, and no, I bet
Well,
maybe
it's
it's
always
their best
interesting when
game.
those two teams play.
Maybe Michigan doesn't show up, but you would know better than me. But yeah, it's probably not. The atmosphere is probably crazy. But I'm not
It's
making any wacky
wild.
predictions. I mean, I like what you're in your direction in terms of physicality and hey, again, Michigan's a team to beat, really. So
And Michigan and
should
Minnesota
be fun.
are always going to be physical when they play each other. So
I don't know,
it's
man.
going to
I
be
don't do
interesting,
score
especially because you got
predictions.
smaller guys.
Yeah, I don't.
Um,
We'll see. But I'm not really. Yeah, I just hope. Again, Michigan's just cranking right now, and as I said, I mean, they got young scoring, they got veteran scoring, they got goaltending. I'm tired of really praising them, but yeah, they're the
I
team to
am too,
beat,
trust
and
me. But looks
um,
like Michigan's the team to beat. State of hockey still holding on to that title for right now, but come back for more about our beautiful rising stars of the future NHL, because we've got a lot of them in the NCAA. So
That's
thanks
right,
for joining
Rachel.
us.
That's right. That's right.
It's a plethora of them. We're never going to run out of guys to talk
Uh,
about.